Now we drop some bars.
We're going to transition to a thing we call bars, right? So these are lines that we just love. Not necessarily long excerpts, but just lines we loved in this book. There's so many. You read one of my favorite, which is the very last line. I know it sounds cheap to pick this one, but I have a couple. But this is one of it. For he knew what Shalimar knew: if you surrender to the air, you can ride it. That's just one of mine. What was one of yours?
I'll look it up. So
I'll give another one. This is somewhat simple, but I remember just when I read it, I was like, "It is so wise." This is when Milkman is having a conversation with his father after he punches his father. Right. And his father says, if you're in the business of raising your fist at your father, you better have some intelligence behind it next time you throw it.
All right now.
And to me, that is so cool. To have intelligence behind your violence, to have intelligence behind your vitriol. It's just know why you're upset. Yeah. Like know why you're angry. And know how to use that anger in the right way.
And that was interesting to me, too, because it talked about... I don't even think maybe it's a guy thing or not, but it's like Milkman became a man when he was able to beat up his dad. Right. And how violence is the thing that ushers you into manhood. Because it's like... And I don't necessarily know if that's the right way of looking, but it's true. Right. The moment that his dad felt like, he could physically hurt me, I have to treat him different now. Yeah. And that's...
You still looking for yours?
I have it, but I don't know where it is in the picture.
Go ahead.
No, it was Hagar's heart has just been broken. Milkman breaks up with her on Christmas or something like that, and she sees Milkman with another person. And Toni Morrison says the fist that was in her chest. Oh gosh, I gotta find it. I'm butchering it.
So here's my last bar.
I'm butchering.
This is a little longer. This is when Pilot is in Virginia and she's kind of like exposed for the strangeness of her physical physique and not having a belly button. It isolated her. Every other resource was denied her: partnerships in marriage, confessional friendship, communal religion. Men frowned, women whispered. It lacked the important ingredient, the grotesque. It was really nothing to see. Her defect was actually, and the time it took for curiosity to become drama. And I cut some of it out, but it actually was. Her defect was actually, and the time it took for curiosity to become drama. So to me, it was just something that was really beautiful about like how these things impact our social friendships and our social life, and how people look at you strangely. It impacts the way you worship. It's so much, but it was actually like interesting, and it needed to be grotesque, but it was kind of like this middle thing which people didn't know what to do with. Yeah.
I found mine. So if you've ever loved somebody and they've broken up with you, and then you see them with another person on a date. This is what Hagar experienced, and this is what Toni Morrison said. She said, the fist that had been just sitting in her chest since Christmas released its forefingers like the blade of a skinning knife. Oh. It makes you, because you already got the lump in your chest, but then to see them with another person, it's like it opens up, grabs a dagger, and then just cuts you all the way down. I said, Toni.
So I'll share I mentioned this earlier when Guitar is reflecting on Hagar. And he says, this is more than one line, but neither Pilate nor Reba knew that Hagar was not like them, not strong enough like Pilate, nor simple enough like Reba to make up her life as they had. She needed what most colored girls needed: a chorus of mamas, grandmamas, aunts, cousins, sisters, neighbors, Sunday school teachers, best girlfriends, and what all, to give her the strength life demanded of her and the humor with which to live it.
That's good. The humor. That's good, because you got to be able to laugh at some stuff. You got to laugh. You got to learn to laugh at some mess.
You just saw the cover, but there's more to life.
This podcast is in partnership with 4th District and Terminus Collective.